Hey, what's up guys? Welcome to this tutorial, and in this class we will be learning about the EC2. So this is just the introductory part, and now let's just see what is this EC2. EC2 stands for the Elastic Compute Cloud, and when it comes to the definition of the EC2, EC2 is a web service that provides secure, resizable compute capacity in the cloud, allowing the users to run the virtual servers and manage the computing resources. So basically, when it comes to the EC2, so over here you can even install the operating systems like the Ubuntu, Mac, Mac systems and Windows, and you can carry out the operations. You can even change the size of the root storage and everything. So the next point is it enables the developers to build and deploy the applications quickly without needing to invest into the hardware upfront. So you really don't need any hardware to set up all this infrastructure. Everything you can manage on the AWS console only. Okay, and everything is like really very quick and fast forward process. And you can create the multiple instances which we will see in the future classes. So just be aware of certain terms which I might use in the practical part. So before that, I just wanted to introduce you guys to the theoretical things. And okay, so let's just go ahead. So now this is the pictorial view of what is going on, like how we will be handling the things. Okay, so now so now just imagine there is this AWS region, and inside of the AWS region there is like EC2 instance which we will be creating. And whenever we create a EC2 instance, like EBS volume is generated, like whatever size we give, like the 8 GB is like 15 GB, 10 GB. So basically, EBS volume is generated for this EC2 instance, and whatever you do inside of the EC2 instance, the data is stored inside of this EBS volume. Okay, so we can also create the separate EBS volumes and attach those EBS volumes to the EC2 instance. We will see all these things. As of now, just don't get confused. Just consider that we will be creating the EC2 instance, and as soon as we create the EC2 instance, one EBS volume is generated along with the EC2 instance, where whatever you data you store inside of the EC2 instance, it gets stored inside of this EBS volume. And if you want to increase the size of this EC2 instance, you just have to do the configuration in this EBS, and if you just increase the EBS volume, it will just amplify the place, and you can even create multiple EBS volumes and you can attach that to the EC2 instance. Okay, and right now don't get confused. Let me just tell you one more thing. You can even create one more EBS volume. Okay, and whatever data you want to transfer from this EC2 instance to that EBS volume, you can do that, and later you can just attach this EBS instance to some another EC2 instance, and you can share the data from here to there. Okay, we will see how to do that in the practical part. Let's not get confused right now. And one more thing, what happens is that whenever we create the EC2 instance, one IP is generated, public IP for that, and whenever we stop or start this EC2 instance, that IP changes. Okay, so for that purpose, if we want to fix the IP of our EC2 instance, we attach the elastic IP. That means whenever we like start or stop the EC2 instance, this elastic IP don't change, it will remain constant. Okay, so it will remain same, it will not change. So that's why we have this concept of the elastic IP. I will show you how to do that in the tutorials, don't worry about it. So now when it comes to this EC2 instance, we can even store the data to some storage, and when it comes to like storing the data, that is being taken care by the S3 bucket. I will show you what is this S3 bucket. So data is stored inside of the S3 bucket. And now let me just go down to the EBS volume. So like EBS volume, so if suppose for any purpose, if suppose in the future for any purpose like EBS volume collapses, or like something happens or it gets damaged, so for that purpose we might want to backup the data. We might want to take a reference from our previous uh, backup. So that time we take the EBS volume snapshot. So when it comes like taking the snapshot, we will just keep the copy of the data what we have up till the instance, and we can even uh, do one thing. We can even give the time, if suppose I want to take the backup midnight at 12 o'clock, it will keep the backup of the volume, like whatever the data is there in this EBS volume, it will keep a backup of that. Backup in the sense it is as a snapshot, and it will keep the copy of whatever it is there in this EBS volume, and it will do that for each and every midnight at 12 o'clock. we just have to set up that cycle and it will take care of that. Okay, so it is just like the backing up the data or keeping the copies of it, and it will upload that to the S3 bucket. So S3 bucket is the place where we keep all the storage, where we store all this data. So now this is our AWS region, and this is how the operations are being carried out. And this AWS region, inside this AWS region, our EC2 instance communicates with the internet, okay, via this domain name. So there is like this domain name which communicates with the outside world, and when it comes to like communicating with the outside world, we have to open certain ports, and only we are allowing the traffic on those particular ports, like the port 80 or port 3000. I'll be showing you all inside of the inbound and outbound rules inside of the EC2 instance, so don't worry about it. And there are this AWS security groups. Okay, so security groups is basically like you are allowing who can access the data. Like if suppose I'm attaching the security group and I'm just telling like only allow this particular instance, I mean only allow this PC of mine. I will just give the IP of my this PC, and only this PC of mine will be able to access the EC2 instance or like a EBS volume or whatever that is. So that will come under the AWS security groups, and I will show you all how to do that. So don't get confused right now. Just for your learning purpose, I'm just telling you all like how things will be going on. Next, there are like key features like the elasticity, like automatically scale the capability up and down based upon the demand. So if suppose I want to increase the volume of my EBS, so over here I have shown you what is this EBS volume. If suppose I want to increase the size of this EBS storage, like initially it was suppose like 5 GB, and later I want to make it like a 10 GB or 8 GB, I can scale up. Okay, so I can do that. So wide range of the instance type, like the offers a variety of the instance type tailored to the different use cases, such as the general purpose, uh, compute optimized, memory optimized, and the storage optimized instances. So these are some of the instances which we will see in the future classes. So don't worry about all these things. Flexible pricing model. So on-demand instances pay for the compute capacity by the hour or like seconds with the no long-term commitment. So you just generally have to pay for whatever you are like buying. Okay, so if suppose I'm just running the EC2 instance for a particular time, so I just have to pay for that particular time only. Reserved instance. So significant discount compared to the on-demand pricing when you commit to use the EC2 instance for 1 or like a 3 years term. So if you just tell them that you'll be using the any EC2 instance or whatever that is for this particular reserved period of time, you will get significant discount on that. Uh, Slot instance. So use unused EC2 capacity at reduced cost, ideal for the flexible workload, and dedicated host, physical servers dedicated for your use, which can help meet regulatory and compliance requirements. So these are some of the things which you can just go through. And there are like instance types. So when it comes to the EC2 instances, there are this many number of the instance type, and each and everyone plays a different role. So for your understanding purpose, I have just noted down all these things. I won't be explaining all of this because I am just running short on time. It is almost 8 minutes now. So you just have to note down one thing. There is like a general purpose, compute optimized, memory optimized, storage optimized, and accelerated computing type of the instances in the EC2. So like this is the basic definition of it, and some minor details. So you can just go through it, and storage optimized. So when it comes to like storage purpose, so like when it comes to like storing up the data, so there is this Amazon EBS, elastic block storage, which I've explained you just now, and another storage feature provided by the S3, which is a simple storage service, Amazon S3, and instant storage volume. So these are the three concepts which will be coming across when it comes to like storage options, security and compliance. So IA, IAM rules. So when it comes to like IAM rules, so assign the fine-grained permission to control who can access your EC2 instance and the resources, and security groups. Just now I have told you what is security groups, and compliance certifications, and monitoring and management. So when it comes to like monitoring and management purpose, we will be making use of the Amazon Cloud auto scaling, AWS management console, which I'll be using all the time, and EC2 auto recovery. So automatically recovers instances from the underlying hardware failures. AWS Management Console, a web-based interface for managing all the aspects of the EC2. I will be showing you all in the future, like what is AWS Management Console, and basically AWS Management Console is the place from where you manage everything. Auto scaling automatically adjusts the number of the EC2 instances in the group according to the demand. So this will basically come under the EC2 auto scaling, like the elastic search and everything. And AWS CloudWatch, monitor your EC2 instances and other AWS resources in the real time. For monitoring purpose, you can make use of this. And use cases, so when it comes to like web hosting, host the websites and the web application on the instances. You can do that if suppose you are a Munstack developer. So in the Munstack developer, you can host your React application, you can host your Node.js applications over here. Big data analytics, so process and analyze the large data sets with high performance EC2 instances. Machine learning, run the ML models and training workload using the EC2 instances with the GPU. Batch processing, run the batch jobs efficiently using the scalable compute resources. Okay, so these are some of the use cases of the EC2. And best practices is right sizing. So choose the appropriate instance type and size for your workload to optimize the cost and performance. So just now I shown you the types of the EC2 instances. So where is it? Okay, so here is the instance type. So whatever suits your requirement, just choose any one of them based upon your requirement. So you just have to do the little bit of research, and I'll be covering this in the future classes, so don't worry. And where was I? Security hardening. So regularly update the security groups. Use IAMI rules and implement the best practices for the securing your EC2 instance. I will be showing all these things. Monitoring and optimization. Continuously monitor and optimize your EC2 usage with the CloudWatch and the trusted advisors. And when it comes to networking, elastic IP address. Just now I told you what is this elastic IP address. So whenever the EC2 instance gets stops and started, new IP is assigned. But if you don't want to change the IP address of it, we make use of the elastic IP addresses, the elastic load balancing. If you want to distribute the incoming load, the traffic, and Amazon VPC, like virtual private cloud, allows you to provision the logically isolated sections of the AWS where you can launch AWS resources in the virtual network that you define. We will be seeing this in the future classes, of course. And with this, we have come to the end of this presentation. So thank you for watching, and I hope you guys will like my tutorial. And these are some of the terms which will be coming across in the futures, and I don't want you people to get confused. So I just overall I have explained you all these things, so don't get confused afterwards. And yeah, so here was the term of the elastic IP, so which we will be attaching to the EC2 instance, so that we can just have some static IP for the EC2 instance. Okay, so thanks for watching, and in the future classes I'll be explaining you all these terms in the detail and in depth, so don't worry about anything. Okay, so thanks for watching and keep watching my tutorial. I hope I will be seeing you all in the future classes. Thanks for watching.